hell no. That's the one con of having short hair. You be doing. Before we get the video started, hold up. The little tree. Next one. We still have not gotten. Hold up. We still have not gotten somewhere to hang this up. Probably within the next few days. I hope so. We're on day 8. I have to do it this hand because I still have not gotten this one fixed. By the title of this video, you guys are probably very shook. Actually, if you're a real one and you saw my... It's going to be kind of like a little life update video. I'm going to be explaining a lot of stuff in this video. I'm going to be telling you guys a lot of new information. Just, if you have nothing to do, just watch this video. Okay, so, for those of you who don't know, I'm a senior. And I'm 17 years old. Backtrack a little bit before. So when I was like in, kind of when I started to grow up and people kind of started to ask like, what do you want to do when you're older? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a vet? Or whatever the fuck, right? I think it started off being like, I think my first thing was I was wanting to be a vet because I love animals, right? That was like the first thing. And then as years went on, life happened and shit. And I think I just started to change and change and change and change. So the last job career, like a official career that I wanted to do was be a nurse, an RN. That was like the plan, right? So since that was the plan, I decided to apply at a volunteer program here, and I would volunteer there, and it was a hospital. So I'd volunteer at a hospital, and it was like it's probably one of the biggest hospitals around here. So I'd volunteer there, right? And then for those of you who don't know kind of what you do, you basically would just work. There was different shifts, so like you could work NICU, ICU, and you could do the gift shop, or there was a point where I did kind of like the post-op section. So like right after surgery, okay, basically there's a lot of sections where you could do stuff. It was a really cool experience. Like I loved it. I made a really good solid group of friends there, and it was really fun, and that was kind of what I wanted to do. Like that was the career that I wanted to pursue, right? Going into that volunteer program just kind of made me look better for colleges or whatever. Y'all know the deal. And I think when I was there, not that I realized that that wasn't something I wanted to do, but it was just kind of like whatever. Ever since I even entered the damn program, it was just kind of like a really fun experience, and I really liked it. But as a hobby, like I never went in there. I think I was never so sure of being an actual nurse. I think I had no ideas, and I think my last resort was like, oh, a nurse. And I really liked it. I don't regret any of it. If Corona wouldn't have hit, I would have still done it, and hopefully I could still do it before I graduate. I'm trying to figure out where I'm trying to go with this. I think somewhere along the line of this whole thing, because I volunteered there since my freshman year, so I'm a senior now, and I just stopped doing it up until Corona. So like I think I stopped like in April. It just wasn't something I saw myself doing for the rest of my life. And I think ever since, even before I joined that program, I always knew I didn't want to be a lawyer. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't want to be a pharmacist or whatever the fuck, right? I didn't want that. And I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew I didn't want that. I started doing YouTube videos, and I freaking loved it. I loved everything about it. And it just made me really happy. I knew that's where I kind of fit in, because in school, I never was really in anything like... I was in ASB, but I don't know how to explain it. It's just one of those feelings where you just do something just to do it, and it's not like a passion, or it's not something that genuinely makes you happy, if that makes any sense. But when I was doing YouTube, it was like something that I was genuinely passionate about. Like I was genuinely happy doing YouTube. So that's why I kept doing it, and I kept doing YouTube for years and years and years, right? I've always been good at school. Like I've always had like honors and APs, and I'd always have good grades or whatever. So I knew how to do school, but I didn't necessarily like it. You know what I mean? School was just like, ugh, like school. I knew how to do it, but I didn't like it. I got to the point in my career with YouTube that I started to get paid. So for those of you who don't know, yes, I do get paid from YouTube. That is kind of how I'm able to buy my daily Starbucks, you know what I mean? I started to grow a little bit more, and at the beginning it was just kind of like, oh, that's cool, like that's extra money. And for those of you who don't know, I've always been like a super like hustler person. Always. Like before I even blew up on YouTube, I was applying to every single place that was hiring. And I'm talking about every place. I mean, I applied everywhere, like everywhere. I did not get a job anywhere. And that is why I'm the biggest believer of everything happens for a reason, because I had my Hollister interview, right? So I had a Hollister interview, just kind of knew I wasn't gonna get it. You know, you just know. So I was really bummed out. And then the next day, one of my videos blew up, right? And then for the next couple of weeks, I was waiting to get a call back from at least somewhere, you know what I mean? And I never did, and I was really bummed out. And then my videos started to do better, and started to do better and better. I started to be more and more and more successful with my YouTube career, and it just made me happier and happier and happier and happier. Like, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I was really thankful that the other jobs didn't want me, because if they would have wanted me, I wouldn't be here right now. I always wanted to work. Like, I was literally counting the days down until I turned 16 because I wanted to work, because I wanted to start saving up and do something with my life. I've just always been like that. I've always wanted to start my own clothing line, like hustle, 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 right? So then YouTube started working out for me, and I was really happy. And I'm a pretty talkative person, so YouTube kind of worked out, right? Like, YouTube kind of fit into the category of things I could do. I got to a point where I kind of had to decide between school or YouTube, because I couldn't have a full AP schedule, a full-time doing YouTube. It was way too hard, because I had to be paying attention fully in class. AP classes are no joke. Like, I had to genuinely put all my time into it, homework and all that. I never had time to film, never had time to edit. It was just not working out. So I kind of had to make a decision. Do I want to do YouTube or do I want to do school? And I had to pick one. And I know it's not like that for every YouTuber out there. Pretty sure there's YouTubers out there who can do it, but it was just not healthy for me. It was absolutely not healthy. I decided to pick YouTube, right? So I dropped my AP classes, and that was literally the biggest risk of all time, because dropping all of my AP classes, I was guaranteed to not be able to get into my dream school, right? But I was like, that's fine, because at the end of the day, I was gonna go to my dream college for what? Because I didn't want to do a normal job. I'm gonna pick school for what? To not be happy anyways. So I dropped it. I dropped all my AP classes. I dropped math completely, so I'm not taking math at all. I dropped my science completely, so I'm not taking the science. And I took the easiest schedule that I could possibly take just to graduate high school. Like, that was my plan. I was just gonna graduate high school, and I was gonna go to community college. So that was my plan. I was gonna go to community college, do my GEDs. I was just gonna see what happened from there. So I was gonna go to community college and decide I was gonna have 2 years. I was gonna be studying, but I was gonna kind of decide what I wanted to do with my life there. And I'm talking to you guys kind of around July time. This was when all this stuff was going on. So back then, I think I had around 200K maybe. So I was doing good in YouTube, but I wasn't doing good enough to where I was like, hey, it's okay. Like, I could just stop my life here, not go to school, not do anything, and I'll be fine. I wasn't at that point, you know what I mean? So I just kept going, right? And I've always been a huge risk taker, like huge risk taker. I really believe that in order to get somewhere, you need to take risks. So I've always done it. Like, sometimes it's worked out for me, sometimes it hasn't, but I have to keep doing it, because if I don't keep taking risks, I'm never gonna be anywhere in life. That's kind of my mentality. Like, I have to keep taking risks. Not strike for 2, strike for 4 type shit, you know what I mean? So I've always been that type of person. I was like, you know, we're just gonna keep pushing, right? I'm gonna pass all my classes, and I know I'm gonna graduate. I have to graduate. I kept doing what I loved, so I kept posting videos for you guys, and I was trying to be I was being more consistent. It was always like, I was either filming or editing every day. Like, I'm talking about every single day. It was editing or it was filming. It was never, hey, I'm gonna stay in bed all day. No, it was never like that. I would probably have a lazy day like twice a month, and that was just because I was so drained from filming and editing every day, all day, and then doing school, right? And by this, I had already dropped my AP classes, so it was literally just my normal school that I was doing. And then plus, I still had to do my house chores and make sure everything was ready by the time I got home from work, because responsibilities. So all of August, I was just grinding. At the end of August, this video is not gonna be about Jake at all, but I do want to kind of, oh my god, there's something in my eye. I do want to add him to the timeline, because he did have a big impact on my life. He made that one TikTok. You guys know, OGs know what TikTok I'm talking about. The TikTok he made trying to get at me. He made that TikTok on the 28th. So I was in Vegas at the time, and that's kind of when I saw who he was. I had no interest in Jake at all. Like, at all. I just thought it was this stupid kid trying to get at me. And I was like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? It was just not. And during this whole time, my YouTube channel just kept going up. And up. And all my work was really paying off. A lot of you guys started to really like my videos. I started to see you guys everywhere. Like, I would go on TikTok and I would see videos of you guys saying like, oh, I'm watching Nathaly, and I'd be on the screen or something like that. Best thing ever. I was so happy. Like, it was literally, I think it was like the happiest, like it was my peak. Like, I was starting to become really happy. What I wanted to do was freaking coming to life. At a point where I had to start applying for colleges, right? September, October, November, all those 3 months were apply for schools. And I think it was around late September, because the month of September I did really good too. My deadlines were coming up. I had to do FAFSA, apply to colleges. I think it started to kind of hit me like, hey, Nat, like you need to make a decision now. Are you gonna apply for a Cal State? Are you gonna apply for a UC? Like you need to do it now, right? To the conclusion that I was not gonna go to a Cal State or a UC. So I didn't apply, right? I didn't apply to college, and I was like, no, just school is just not for me. I am not a school person. I'm more of a businesswoman. You know what I mean? I'm more of like business like that. I've just always been that type of person, you know what I mean? I've always been a hustler. When I was like in freaking elementary school, I was selling chips in a duffel bag trying to get that coin with my own business, right? I've always been like this. Like I've always been a huge hustler. I kind of started to realize I needed my own space because it is just really hard. I'll explain this to you guys. Okay, it's really hard to do what I have to do while there's lots of other human beings in this household. I just started to feel really suffocated, and I felt like in order for me to continue with my YouTube grind, I kind of needed my own space. It was just really hard. It was just really hard. I needed my own space. There was kind of a lot of conflict in the household as well because of certain stuff that obviously I'm not gonna talk on the internet about. It was just like I needed my own space. Like it was decided that I needed my own space. And obviously I'm not 18 yet, and I don't turn 18 till August, but I graduate in May, so my birthday is just late as hell. I kind of talked to my parents about it, and they completely supported me in it, and they understood why I needed my own space, and we came to the decision that I am gonna be moving out, and I have a date already, and I'm really excited because I feel like I'm gonna be able to bring you guys so much more content, and I think I'm just gonna be a happier person, if that makes any sense. I'm already like really happy. I'm a really happy person, you know. I love my family, and but I think if there was a little bit of more space between us, it would just be so much healthier and so much better. And I'm so excited to like bring you guys on this journey with me. Like you guys already know the moving out vlogs, moving in vlogs, decorating my new apartment vlogs, everything's coming. So the day I'm gonna be moving into my new place is May 1st. I'm not gonna go into details about the place yet or any of that. That'll come later on. I did want to announce it for you guys because you guys had a lot of questions when I kind of said that I was gonna move out in one of my last videos, and this is kind of it was a huge explanation as to why. But yeah, that's the life update. I am not going to college. Oh, I didn't actually end up telling you guys this, but I'm not going to college, period. I am not gonna go to community college. I might go back, but I just don't want to because school is just not for me. I really came to the conclusion of that school is not for me, and not everyone is gonna agree with me, and that is completely okay. If you want to go to college, you have my full support. If you don't want to go to college, you have my full support, because not everyone is meant to have the same path in life. That is the beauty of life, that everyone has different paths and everyone has different journeys that they're gonna take. Does that mean that one person is gonna be better than the other person? No. You know, someone who goes to college could be way more successful than someone who doesn't go to college, and someone who doesn't go to college could be way more successful than someone who does go to college. That literally means absolutely nothing, all right? Everybody has their own paths to life, and that is okay. Literally, do not let anybody peer pressure you into going to college or peer pressure you into not going to college, all right? Do what you feel is right, because not everybody is the same. Everybody has a different path to life, and that is just the way it is. So I will be taking hopefully everything in my room. Homeboy's gonna get a clean out. So I do have a few months. And no, I'm not gonna be moving out with Jake, because I know you guys are gonna get some questions about that. I'm not moving out with Jake. I'm just moving out alone. It is just the healthier and better option. Again, I'm a risk taker, and this is a risk that I need to take in order, because I think that it'll make me a happier person, it'll make me a better YouTuber. And I'm gonna touch a little bit on Jake because I know you guys are freaking curious cats up in this bitch and you guys want to know. So me and Jake are not dating. There's literally people who go in freaking comment sections and they're like, they're dating, and then you guys will go on there and be like, no they're not, and they'll literally fight with you guys and say that we are not dating. If I don't tell you guys that we're dating, do not believe what anybody else says, because it's literally me and Jake in the situationship. It's not anybody else. I do want to date Jake. I think we've established that between me and him. We just don't really talk about this through YouTube because people just talk and talk and talk. And when the time is right, he will ask me out. You know what I mean? My family loves him. He loves my family. It's great. Life's great. We're at 450,000 subscribers. Could you guys believe that? Because I can't. That is so crazy. Thank you guys so much for that. And thank you to everyone who's supporting my freaking vlogmas, because it's kicking my ass. Today's video, comment something, and at the end of your comment, give me a video idea that you're like dying to see, because a bitch is exhausted and has no idea what else to film for you guys. Like, I'm out of ideas. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Vlogmas Day 8. Today wasn't a vlog. Today was kind of like a sit down chit chat video with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Good night.